Y'all celebrate Easter? Not really. Not really. I'm saying today is Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I know. Not really. Ain't no reason why we don't.
But it should. You know what? I'm gonna say something simple. Did you know rabbits don't lay eggs? Now, why would I say that in correlation to Easter Sunday?
Because they always got like the Easter egg.
They got the Easter egg hunt, don't they? And what do they tell you on Easter? Where do the eggs come from? The bunny rabbit, right? Rabbits don't even lay eggs.
Right.
I'm just saying, if I wanted to work at Family Dollar, they're going to give me an application I got to fill out, right? What's the option they got for me when it's come to race?
Black or African American?
Black or African American? Can we deal with that real quick? Are we black? Here's what I'm saying. Your shoes are black. My pants is black. My boots is black, right? So now all of a sudden you've relegated a whole nation of people to a color. When you ask so-called white people what they are, they don't tell you white. They say I'm Polish, my family is Dutch, I'm British, I'm English.
Spain.
Yeah, I'm from Spain. Listen, if you went to the airport right now, can you get a ticket to the land of black? They'll be like, hey, I want to fly to black. They gonna be then called TSA on you. They'll be like, hey, ain't no country called black out here. Hey, did you know Africa is not a country, it's a continent?
Right.
How many countries is inside Africa? Over 120 something countries is in Africa. Over 130 countries in Africa. So even if we say we African, well, when people come from the Sudan and they come here, they call them Sudanese. If they come from the Congo, they call them Congolese. If they come from Nigeria, they call them Nigerian. The only people walking the world saying that they African Americans are the blacks in America.
Right.
Even when real people that come from Africa come to the United States, they don't call themselves African American.
Right.
Now you tell me I'm lying. They call themselves Nigerian. Even our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean islands, they call themselves Haitian. We are the only people that have never been to Africa but call themselves African American. You know why? Here's why. Watch this. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
An ox is a big, strong animal. It's like a bull. Go ahead. It says that he knows his owner.
And the ass, his master's crib.
An ass is a donkey. That's the way in the Bible they say donkey. It says he knows his homeland. But what?
But Israel doth not know.
It says, but what?
Israel doth not know.
The Israelites don't know who they are. They're around America calling themselves African Americans. Nobody has taught us who we actually are according to the Bible and according to our history. You got to think, when does our history start when you're in school? They tell us that the first one of us was birthed on a slave ship. They will not tell you who you were before they piled you on slave ships and brought you to America. They won't tell you. They just let you be lost here. Just let you think that you black or African American. Sis, we are God's chosen people.
That's right.
We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Let me ask you, how did we get to America? Do you know, young man? You know, sis? How did we get here? You don't know? Watch this. Are you familiar with this? You ever seen Roots? 12 years a slave. We got the visuals for a reason. That's okay. Y'all can step over. Look at them. Look as close as you want to. The so-called blacks were brought to America at the bottom of slave ships. We were piled on slave ships. If you look down here at the depiction, you see their feet on this top row. Then you see their heads on the next row. Then their feet, then their heads, then their feet, then their heads. This is the way they packed us on the slave ships to bring us over to this side of the world. We started off over here. And with the transatlantic slave trade from 1500 to 1780, they transported us all over the world. Our slave ships. Let me show you what God told The Israelites. Give me verse 64.
Yes, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64.
I want y'all to understand that this is real history. This actually happened. You agree, sis? This actually happened. They really had, this is called the slave coast. They have big, you can go there right now today and see the cages and castles where they kept us as slaves before they sent us on this trek across the Atlantic Ocean. This is our history. Now watch what the Bible said was going to happen to the Israelites. Read that.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Listen, Moses told the Israelites that they will be scattered from one end of the earth to the other. Now, our history shows us that we were scattered from one end of the earth all the way to the other. Some of us was taken to China. Some of us was taken to Europe. Some of us was taken to Rome. Some of us was taken to Russia. Some of us was taken to Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. This is how we know we the Israelites. This is that history that they don't want us to know. Psalms chapter 83 and verse 3.
Yes, sir.
There has been a conspiracy to get y'all to think that y'all African Americans until the day you die. Because as long as we African Americans, look, sis, I'm going to tell you something. There's a reason why our people act the way they do in America. And here's what I mean. Brothers having babies by sisters not taking care of their kids. Young men growing up gangbanging. Our sisters trying to be strong and independent, saying they don't need a man. This is the culture that was taught to us here in America. It is not our culture. Listen to what I'm saying, young man. God didn't make you just to be a rapper or a basketball player.
Bring it out.
God put a mind in your body for you to be brilliant, a doctor, a lawyer, a prophet of God. America teaches the young black man that they just meant to dribble a basketball or catch a football or rap a rap song. While they go and they be doctors, they try to be lawyers, they try to be pharmacists, they try to be nurses. Why? Because we don't know who we are. What you got?
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
The Bible is talking about the other nations coming together and consulting against us. We are the hidden ones. Why? Because we don't know who we are. And it's obvious. If I ask 5 black people who they are, they're going to give me 5 different answers. 5 different answers. What am I showing? Your history is in the Bible. But these Christian pastors are not going to teach it. They're going to have you come to church singing and humming and high and clapping and dancing. Our people need to know the truth about the Bible. Keep reading.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Believe it or not, when we went in slavery, if you saw a slave movie, they changed people's names. They did not allow you to keep your original name. That's why our last names is Johnson, Washington, Williams, Jackson, Wheeler, Garcia. Because in slavery, they would take your name. This is God showing it to us in the Bible. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Now we don't call ourselves Israel no more. We call ourselves Black and African American. They have fought hard to not be able to show us what we should be called in these last days. And that's what we out here. Because there is a message in the Bible to wake back up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And that's y'all right here on this side.
Right.
What would you see your father at on this side, sis? Would he be considered an American Black or West Indian, like Jamaican or something like that? American Black. So according to the Bible, y'all are actually from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
That's who we are. But they don't even give us the option. If I was filling out an application at Family Dollar to put an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, they want me to think that I'm a black man because it's not beneficial to them. Watch this. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Sir.
If our people knew our connection to God, we would not feel the Christian churches. We would not look at each other the way we look at each other. Do y'all realize who the Israelites were? They were God's chosen people. That might seem insignificant right now, like, man, that can't be us. Yes, that's us. We are the Israelites of the Bible. Watch this, read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Read.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Let me explain something. Who can sing better than us? Let's just be real. Who sing better than us? Who more creative? Who can dance better? Who can play the sports the better? I don't care what sport they put out there. It's us. We run the fastest, we jump the highest. Every major sports league is controlled and ran by Negroes playing the game. The best singers that you ever see is us. The best dancers you ever see is us. Look, the best cooks you'll ever see is us. Why? Because God dealt with us different from everybody else. That's the reality of it. Read it again.
Right.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
What?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
It was never meant for us to be at the bottom of society the way we are now. The reason that we are in America at the bottom of society and not above all people like God said is because we broke his commandments.
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
These your children, sis? What happened if your children act up? Let's say you say, hey, young man, I want that room clean. He don't clean his room, what happened? He gonna clean it, right? But I'm just saying, if he really won't take it there, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'll probably like take it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a consequence, right? You can play your video game with a hot behind. It was consequences. Why? Because that's your son, right? It's your job to teach him structure and order and discipline. It's the same thing with us. We are God's children. We broke God's laws. He sent this stuff against us.
Right.
Slavery, the loss of identity. He put us here to punish us, and now he's given us the prophets to bring us back to him.
See,
y'all got flyers. Y'all have to learn more about who y'all are according to the Bible, because it's important in these last days. Because we at the end times and destruction coming. You on the news, you hearing about the war with Iran and Russia? With Ukraine and Russia?
Yes, sir.
That's in the Bible. All of this stuff is in the Bible. Y'all literally living in the last days. Why you think for the first time in y'all lifetime, you seeing men on a corner with a loudspeaker talk about the Bible? Because the Lord is giving the warning to the people before destruction.
right.
It's important that you know who you are, that you teach your kids who you are, that y'all come back to God and keep the commandments. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You got any questions?
No, I was looking at this. I'll probably come out.
You, y'all celebrate Easter? Not really? Not really. I'm saying today is Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
Not really.
Ain't no reason why we done it.
Well, it should. You know what? We I'm gonna say something simple. Did you know rabbits don't lay eggs? Now, why would I say that in correlation to Easter Sunday?
Because they always got like the Easter egg.
They got the Easter egg hunt,
Right.
don't they? And what do they tell you on Easter? Where do the eggs come from?
Right.
The bunny rabbit, right? Rabbits don't even lay eggs.
Right.
Bring it out.
They mammals. They have live babies. That would be like a woman pushing a baby out and there's a big egg. Now here's the question. How did something so outrageous and so far-fetched become a part of the Bible or a part of religion? How did that happen? What you'll start to learn is once you learn who you are, then you get in this Bible and start reading it, you're going to find out that a lot of the things that we do as a people is crazy idolatry. That you can't find it in the Bible. Hey, watch this, sis. What's Christ's birthday? They say it's Christmas, right? You know that ain't no way in here. You know they just made that up. Could you imagine a big church with 10,000 people sitting in it, and they all celebrating Christmas as Christ's birthday, and it ain't nowhere in the Bible? Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Yes, sir. It ain't nowhere in the Bible. What we doing by giving you back your heritage and who you are as a people, it forces you to come back to what your true heritage is, which is the Bible. Once you come back to this, all of that foolishness that they teaching us in these Christian churches, y'all gonna have to get rid of. Because you're gonna realize that it's lies. Easter is a lie. What does Jesus look like? I'm serious. What does he look like? What do they tell you he look like? Let me put it like that. What does church say he look like? They say he look like this, right? Right here. Watch your mic. Don't it say he look like that? What does the Bible say he look like? Read that.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8.
What I'm saying is, the more you take it serious and the more you study, the more they lies you're going to have to start getting rid of. Guess what, young man? Christ looked just like you.
That's right.
Ain't that amazing? The whole world is being taught that Christ is white and don't have one scripture in the whole Bible to pull it up and show it. But there's multiple scriptures in the Bible showing him as a black man. But the world think he white. Now here's the icing on the cake. Guess which one of these tribes Christ came from? Sis, you know which one of these tribes Christ came from? Judah. Judah. You want to know why they won't say that Christ is black? Because if Christ is black and he's from the tribe of Judah, that means the rest of the tribe of Judah is what? Is black too.
That's right.
That's crazy, ain't it? It's amazing how much of your history is hidden inside this book right here. That we made a hymn book about. We sing and clap and dance in church. We put on these fabulous suits and dresses and these big old hats and never actually open the Bible and read Colossians 2 and 8.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8.
The truth about the Bible is being sprung up in the earth in these last days. That's what's happening. And it's freaking out Christian pastors. It's freaking out the Muslim imam. Because the truth about the Israelites is coming out before Christ come back. Read it.
Beware, lest any man spoil you.
Through what?
Through philosophy and vain deceit.
The Bible says beware. You ever walked up to somebody's house and said beware of the dog? They say that because if you don't know it's a dog, the dog might bite you. You didn't know it. The Bible says beware of what?
Lest any man spoil you.
Through what?
Through philosophy and vain deceit.
Easter is a philosophy and vain deceit. White Jesus is a philosophy and vain deceit. Israel is in Africa. Everybody else in the Bible is taking place in Africa. But then the one guy that saves the world is a white guy. But he's from Africa. It don't make sense. The Bible said, beware lest people lie to you about Jesus Christ being white. Jesus Christos es no blanco. Jesus Christos es negro. See. Read.
After the tradition of men. After the rudiments of the world.
And what?
And not after Christ.
Let's see what color Christ is. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. Because I said it, I'm going to back it up. Because when you watch Passion of the Christ, when you watch the Noah movie, any biblical related movie you watch, they make all of the characters blanco. They make them all white. Watch this. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Who has woolly hair? Who has woolly hair on the planet? You know what woolly hair is? Sis, you know what woolly hair is? Who has woolly hair on the planet? Who? Black people got woolly hair, y'all. You will be hard pressed to find one white person with woolly hair. You tell me if I'm lying, mama. No. The Bible describes Christ's hair as woolly hair. Go ahead.
As white as snow.
And it was all white. When you look at these two pictures, Only one of these pictures got white hair, white woolly hair. This is the guy they tell us Christ is. But this person is not matching the description of what the Bible is describing. He's just not. What's great is with a little bit of reading, you can very easily see how somebody did lie to you. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
You ever drunk wine and saw somebody that drunk alcohol and the whites of their eyes turn red? You ever seen Michael Jordan, how the whites of his eyes is real red? That's what this is talking about. Go ahead.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his what?
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now the color of my hands is the same color of my feet. It's the same color. It's the same color as my legs and everything else. It's like what?
Fine brass.
What color is brass? What color is brass? You got a penny?
Like brown.
Yeah, it's a brown color, right? Watch this. Let's see how brown Christ was. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
If your kids is in the kitchen and cook, right, and you go in there and they burnt something, how you know it's burnt? What's going to happen? It's going to be black. It says Christ's skin looked like it what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
What color would his skin be if it looked like it burned in a furnace? The Bible describes Jesus Christ as a black man, not a white man. All that time in your life when you've been on your hands and knees struggling in life praying and you've been praying to this, you've been praying to the wrong God. Jesus Christ of the Bible has never been white. Our slave masters taught their slaves that Jesus Christ was a white man. According to the Bible, Jesus Christ is a black man. That ain't it. Give me Daniel 7 and 9. The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse. What are we giving you back? We're giving you back your real history. Everything that they stole from you, we're giving it back right now. Who you are, what God requires of you, we are the Israelites of the Bible, and Jesus Christ was a black man just like you and me.
That's right.
You think our brothers be selling dope to each other? They knew Christ was black. They knew that the people in the book looked like them. The real Jews are black. Why? Because Christ was a Jew, and he was black, and Christ wasn't the only black Jew running around with a bunch of white Jews. They was all black, sis. This is your history according to the Bible. Right. That's why we set up a loudspeaker and we yell it out at Eagle Dale Plaza so that you blacks and so-called Mexicans can start learning that you all make up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
Read.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Read.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
Listen. Daniel is giving a description of what he is seeing in heaven. He said the Ancient of Days was sitting in heaven. Go ahead.
Whose garment was white as snow.
He had on a white garment. Go ahead.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Wait a minute. The hair of his head like what?
Like the pure wool.
What is that describing? Who has woolly hair? Negroes. The same way that Jesus Christ is a black man, so-called, is the same way that the Father is a so-called black man. All of this white Jesus stuff, this stuff was pushed on us when we were slaves.
Right.
During that 250 years when we could not read and we could not write.
Bring it out.
It's important, it is imperative that our people start to learn who we were before they brought us here on them slave ships.
Right.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
His word! His word! His word!